This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning.
Can you
Hello.
all hear me?
Good
Hello. Good
morning.
morning,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Uh, Good morning to all. Okay, let's start the session. Before we get into the demo session, let's have a quick round of introduction so that we understand each other. Okay. So I just need if you have any experience into HR or if you have any knowledge into success factors, I just need this information. Okay. First, let me introduce myself and then we'll go through your introduction. Okay. Myself, I'm Venu. I have around 16 years of experience into the field of HR, where I've started my career as HR executive in one of the manufacturing industries where I was handling the core HR activities like recruitment, payroll processing, or the admin activities, and so on. Okay, and then from there, I have upgraded my skills and moved to SAP HCM implementations. So I was doing SAP HCM implementation and support for customers across the globe. I've worked for customers like for Indian customers, and then I have worked for. After working for 5 years in SAP HCM, I've upgraded my skills. I've got an opportunity to learn success factors because one of the customer where I was working, they were planning to move from SAP HCM to success factors. So I've learned success factors, I've upgraded my skills, and since then I'm working in success factors. Like it's been like almost 8 years that I'm into, 8 or 9 years that I'm into success factors. And in these 9 years, I've handled modules like employee central, compensation, PMGM, and recruiting modules. Though I've worked on all of these modules, I'm more comfortable in employee central and compensation modules because I've spent my most of my time in these areas. Okay, and coming to teaching, I'm into teaching from last 12 years. I used to train earlier on SAP HCM. Then after getting into success factors, I've started training on success factors as well. Success factors, employee central and compensation as well. Okay, so that's brief about me. Now, I would like you to introduce yourself.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Myself, Sachin Shinde. I have done my post-graduation in MBA, and I have 7+ years of experience in HR domain. Now working in one of the manufacturing industry. It's all about me. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Sachin.
Good morning, sir. This is Yogesh. I am having
Yeah, good
40
morning,
plus years
Yogesh.
experience in HR domain in
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing setup.
Okay, yeah, thank you,
I am
Yogesh.
a little bit aware about the SAP HCM,
Mm-hmm.
5 to 10% only, as an end user.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you, Yogesh. Next.
Good morning, all. I am Hepsi. I do have a 10 plus years of experience into HR. So I was handling both recruitment as well as a payroll.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it in SAP or any other technology? The payroll
No,
and okay. So you're
recruitment I was doing
general
in
HR,
SAP SuccessFactors. Yeah, yeah,
generalistic
yeah.
HR.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi Venu, this is Haripriya. I have experience in talent acquisition specialist for 4 years. So, and again, I switched to my domain into retail industry and I worked as associate manager. So currently I want to learn SAP Success Factors. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari Priya.
Hi
Next.
Venu, this is Satya. So
Yeah.
currently
Hi.
I'm working as an SAP security and GRC consultant. So my
Mm-hmm.
organization is moving into success factors where I primarily work in the role-based permissions.
Okay.
So I just wanted to learn a complete success factors employee central rather than just focusing on the role-based permissions alone. So that I
Yeah.
can
That's a
just move into a wider area. Apart from working in role-based permissions alone, just I want to wider my scope.
Yeah,
So that
that's
is
a
the
good
reason
idea,
we went.
Satya.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hi sir, this is Sivakrishna.
Yeah,
So
hi,
I have
Siva.
4 years. I have 4 years of experience into HR.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working as a payroll, complete
Payroll.
payroll, end-to-end payroll. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you, Siva Krishna.
Hi,
Sri
Venu.
Karthik, Sushma, Akansha. Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, hi, Venu. Good morning, all. So myself, Srishma. I have close to 5 years of experience in front-end and back-end developer, where it is purely into .NET technology. So currently, I'm
Mm-hmm.
planning to change my technology to non-coding side. So that's the reason I have chosen this SAP SuccessFactors. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely new to this HR domain, Venu. Yeah, that's it
Okay.
from my
Okay.
end.
So why do you want to switch from the coding part to functional?
Yeah, means like I'm done with that coding part and also I just thought to shift to the this
You
non-coding
wanted to
side.
move into a functional side.
Yes, functional
Okay.
side. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Sushma.
Thank you.
Karthik and Akansha.
Hi, hi, Karthik here. Good morning to you all. I have 19 years of experience in HR domain. I work as a core. I represent the company called Ladera Technology. It's an ERP solution company. SAP Technologies, SAP solution providers. Okay, I head the practice of HR there, and since my company is into ERP domain, and we used to work the HRMs in the different ERP applications like Zoho, HRMS, and payroll experience. I have it. So I thought, okay, let me try out with the success factors so that I can implement the own SAP practices in my company for the HR. That's the plan. Whole joining this course here.
Okay. So you are
Thank
the
you.
implementation partner. So you're the partners of SAP, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Good.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. Akansha says mic is not supporting. Yeah, that's fine, Akansha. Okay. So now let's get into the topic. So I think most of you doesn't have any knowledge or experience into success factors, at least as an end user. Okay. And some of you have knowledge in SAP HCM or as an end user or as an implementation consultant. Okay. Except for I think Karthik, who is into implementation partner and knows more about success factors. Okay. That's fine. So let me make you clear that it is not mandatory or it is not compulsory to have SAP HCM experience. So you must have heard that SuccessFactors is a SAP product. Okay. And to get into SuccessFactors, you don't have to have knowledge in SAP HCM. It is completely different. These two are two different products of same company. Okay. But the concept wise, the implementation configuration, this is entirely different. The terms and terminology what we use here in SuccessFactors is completely different from what we have in SAP HCM. Yes, it is good to have the knowledge of HR again. So few people who doesn't have experience into or knowledge into the functional HR side, maybe you may have to know the process of HRs, like how do we hire employees? What do we do while hiring employees? What all information we capture from the candidates? Or how do you process a transfer? Or how do you promote an employee? How do you terminate an employee? What are the roles and responsibilities of a HR in any organization? So these things you should be knowing. Yes, guys who are into HR and want to move into IT, okay, from your functional knowledge to IT, the information technology, since you have the functional experience, you can utilize all of that functional experience while gathering the requirements from the customer to implement. For the implementation, it is same for everyone. Okay, so even you don't have any knowledge into implementation or the configuration, so we'll be dealing with the configurations in the system. Okay, so there is no prerequisite to learn success factors. Anybody can learn success factors. Okay, but if you have not the process knowledge, that will help you to understand what we are doing and why we are doing that in the system. Okay, so let me walk you through one of the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so can anybody tell me what exactly is success factors? What we are going to do here in success factors?
It's a cloud application.
It's a cloud application. What do you mean by cloud application?
Sir,
What do we
cloud
do in,
application means
how different is it?
there is no need to be store the data in own storage. So we can save the data in
In
device
the
safely,
data
like
centers.
Google and
We can access it
so
from
on.
anywhere.
Okay, yes, exactly. We can access this database or these servers from any corner of the world. Okay, generally, if you want to store something or whatever application that you're working on, you should be storing the data. Okay, right? SuccessFactors is a cloud computing HR application used by most of the organizations across the globe. Okay, so when you hire someone in this, when you hire someone, you capture a lot of information or you take a lot of information from the candidate and store it somewhere. Okay, now what is that somewhere? When you have a small organization like 30 employees or 50 employees, we don't need SuccessFactors application because we can manage all of the data in uh, Excel files or in a Word files, because the quantity is very less there. Okay, but what if you're working for an organization where you have hundreds of employees, thousands of employees, and every day you hire some employees, and every day some employees are terminated, some employees are promoted, some employees are transferred, or some employees are suspended. So you need to track all of this information. So you need to have one of the HR applications to maintain all of this data and to report the data. What is the current headcount? How many employees are there? How many employees are terminated? How many are in, for how many employees we have processed transfers or promotions? So you should know all of this information. So it is easy to handle all of this data when you have some HR application implemented in the organization. Okay, so when you do all of these processes, system has to store this data and give the output as and when required. Okay, so when you store this data, there are two ways of storing the data. Have your own space. Okay, so that means have your own server where you store all of this data, and as and when you need this data, you retrieve the data or you get the data from these servers. That is called on-premise. You have your own servers or you have your own space within your organization. Okay, maybe within your own system or within the server. And then second is your cloud technology, where you store all of your data somewhere in the cloud. Example can be your Google Drive. So what do we do with Google Drive? Whenever you subscribe for Gmail, Gmail gives you the 10 or 15 GB of space as free. Okay, so what you can do is you can put all of your files into that drive, and you can access these files from any corner of the world. Tomorrow, if you're not carrying your laptop or you're not carrying your mobile with you, you'll still be able to access your files from your Gmail account. You just need to have the internet. You have to connect to internet and then access your drive, download those files from your G drive, Google Drive. Now, how is this happening? because the Google Drive is somewhere in the cloud, and this has allocated some space to you, and you are storing your data there, and as and when required, you're fetching the data. You can store the data and you can also extract or you can download the files from your drive. Okay, so the same concept we use here in SuccessFactors Employee Center, SuccessFactors as well. SuccessFactors is a cloud computing HCM application. Earlier we were calling it as HCM, which is Human Capital Management. Initially when they started, we were calling it as SAP HR, okay, which is SAP Human Resources, and then later have started calling it as SAP HCM because we have all the talent modules as well, apart from the regular master data maintenance. We also now have many modules, many talent acquisition modules like recruiting, onboarding, performance management, learning, and then you have compensation. So these are all the modules that are available within SuccessFactors. Now, in the recent days, they have changed it from SAP HCM to SAP HXM. HXM is Human Experience Management. It is all now how an employee experience the product. Instead of just using the application, employees experience the product. Okay. Now, if you look at the definition of a cloud computing, the practice of using network of remote servers hosted on internet. These servers are hosted on internet and are used to store, manage, and process the data rather than local server or a personal computer. The structure for both the on-premise applications and the cloud computing applications are same. Any application, the first thing that you need is the storage. First thing that we need is, now if I want to implement some application to my customer or for my organization, the first thing that I need is the storage. How much storage I need? Now, if I want to have 100 GB or 1 TB, so what I'll have to do, I'll have to procure that 1 TB of storage. Tomorrow, if I want to have more space included, then what I will have to do, I'll have to upgrade my server. This is when you have your own servers. Okay, whereas in cloud computing, here also you just go subscribe for the space that you are looking for. Now I have 100 employees data, you take some storage. Now tomorrow your company is growing and you have now 500 employees or 1000 employees, you ask your subscriber to increase the space or you pay for that 500 users. Now the cloud computing technology will give you the enough space that is required to manage or store the data. So once you have your storage, the second thing that you need is the platform. You need to see or get the platform that you are looking for. Okay, there are many platforms in the market. Okay, so you go choose your platform like .NET or your Google Analytics or any platform that you want to build your application. Okay, and then third is your application. So the cloud computing is split into three parts: infrastructure, platform, and application. So in infrastructure, you only get your space. Okay, now let's say I want to have my own HR application for my employees. I want to build my own HR application. So first thing that I need is the space. So instead of procuring this server, I can go subscribe the available space, okay, from cloud computing. So that's infrastructure. And the second is platform. Yes, I have now my server. I want to develop my own application. On what platform you want to build? So you need to choose the platform. So you'll have both infrastructure and then platform. So you go subscribe for the platform and then you have the application. Now I want to build HR application. So what all you want, what all features you want to have. So you need to develop that. Now we also have readily available products in the market readily available applications in the market. Instead of you developing your own software, you can go and subscribe for the existing softwares or existing applications. So either you can go at infrastructure level or a platform level or at application level. So we have all of these available. So depending on these three structures, the cloud service models have been divided into three. First one is called IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service, where you get only the server storage. And then second is Platform as a Service, where you'll be getting both infrastructure and the platform. The operating system and application stack, server storage, both of them are provided here. And the third is Software as a Service. So you have infrastructure, you have your platform, and the packaged software. So if you're looking for HR application, then there are some products like SuccessFactors or Workday or Salesforce. So these are some of the applications which provide the HR services. Okay, so depending on your need, you can go with either IaaS or PaaS or SaaS. And the SuccessFactors application is the example of SaaS, Software as a Service. When you subscribe with SuccessFactors application, you get all of these things, infrastructure, platform, and that's ready-made application. So when you customers buy the SuccessFactors application, when you are saying that this is readily available application. So what is our role? What will we do as a consultant? As a consultant, we'll have to understand the requirements of the customer and configure that in the system. SuccessFactors is a global product which is available in the market or which is configured for many customers. Okay, now this application can be configured any industry for any customers, whatever be their requirement, we can do the configuration in the system. Okay, some of the examples of infrastructure as a service are your Amazon Web Services or VMware, AWS. Okay, then you have platform as a service, you have Windows Azure. We have force.com on which your Salesforce is built. Then you have the software as a service, we have the applications like Workday or Salesforce or SuccessFactors. These are some of the examples of software as a service. Then why should a customer go with SuccessFactors or a software as a service? What are the advantages of having the application in cloud instead of on-premise application? So you can go with on-premise or you can go with cloud computing. So what are the advantages of having the cloud computing? The first one foremost would be the productivity anywhere. You can access this application from any corner of the world. If your customer is in US or if your customer is in Australia, New Zealand, you can still access their data sitting here in India or in some other country. Or if somebody has applied a leave and you want to approve the leave and you're not in office and you're not carrying your personal computer with you. So how do we approve? We can do the approvals on your mobiles as well. You can have your application installed in your mobile, then you can approve the transaction or you can do some transactions from your mobile as well. That's productivity anywhere. You can access the application, you can access your data from anywhere, provided you are connected to internet. If you have internet, you can access this application. Then offsite data storage. Now the data is not stored within your organization. The data is stored somewhere in the cloud. You don't physically see the servers. But in on-premise on-premise, you need to have your servers. You need to have your dedicated space to your servers. You have to procure servers. You should have some people looking after your servers. Whereas in cloud computing, we don't see that storage. No IT maintenance cost because you're not procuring any servers, because you're not dedicated, any space to that server. You're not having your own team to look after your servers. So no IT maintenance cost. All of this cost is saved. Disaster resistance. Tomorrow, if something happens to your server, you are responsible for your loss. You are responsible for the loss. You need to go fix that. Your IT team has to look after that. So look after the disasters that happened. But in case of cloud computing, you don't have to worry about your any disasters. It is the responsibility of cloud service provider. Always up, application is up and running 365 days, 24/7. Okay. The lower cost of ownership because we are not procuring service, because we don't have to hire any IT people, because you don't have to dedicate any space, and you want to have the application for 100 users, you just pay for 100 users. You want to use the application for 1,000 users, you pay for 1,000 users. It is pay as you go. Okay, so that's why the lower cost of ownership when compared with the other on-premise applications, and easily upgraded. Any application that we use, not only the cloud computing or not only in application, every application that we use in our daily life needs some kind of upgrades. The best example can be, all of you must be using WhatsApp application. So what do we use WhatsApp application for? What do we use? What is the
Messages,
purpose of
communication,
messages? Send messages. Only send messages.
receive
Sharing
calls.
calls.
You can also do
Also, we can
calls.
transaction.
You can do transactions as well.
Transactions.
So are all of these features available from the right from the beginning of the product launch?
No.
No.
No, right? It just started some time back. When initially WhatsApp was launched, we didn't have all of these functionalities of sending money, sending documents, sending files, having the group calls, or having the statuses. So all of these were not available. But slowly they have incorporated all of these additional features. Now, initially it was only the chatting what we are doing, right? Now we can do a lot more than chatting. So this happened over a period of years. Slowly, every time they upgrade the product, they are coming with new functionalities. So that's the upgrade. Now these upgrades, not every upgrade will contain the new functionality. Sometimes they also fix some bugs in the product. Wherever they have identified some issues, okay, they would be fixing those issues. And wherever they feel that this can be enhanced, the existing functionality can be enhanced, so they will enhance the product. And there could be some new functionalities added into the product as well. So you can see that when you log into any application, you'll see the version of that application. And this keeps changing whenever there are some upgrades, right? SuccessFactors also upgrades the product once in 6 months. They have the timeline, like every 6 months, they would be updating the product. Across the globe for all customers, they upgrade the product twice a year or once in 6 months. And these upgrades contains, again, the bug fixes, enhancements, or the new functionalities. Okay. Now this is about cloud computing. What is a SuccessFactors? SuccessFactors is a cloud computing HR or human resource application used by the organizations. Okay, and it is designed specifically to meet the needs of enterprise class organization. We have many modules in SuccessFactors. To start with, the first or the core or the base module is Employee Central. If you look at this picture, the base is Employee Central because we maintain all master data in Employee Central. All of the other modules needs information about the employees, and that information is available in Employee Central. Performance management. Let's say we have talent module called performance management, which is used for appraisals. Employees fill their goals, managers review their performance, okay, maybe mid-year or quarterly, see what are the goals and how much they have achieved, and at the end of the year they would be rating the performance of the employees. Now, how does system know what are the or who are the employees of that manager? Okay, what is the role of that employee in the organization or in a particular department? Where exactly is this employee located? So all of this information is available in Employee Central, and this data is moved to performance appraisals as well. And now once the appraisals are completed, once the ratings are completed by manager, the ratings are to be updated somewhere in Employee Central. So we have to consolidate all data and show up in Employee Central as well. So the data is again pushed back to Employee Central. Same thing in the recruiting. Now, if I'm a recruiter, I have to post a requisition. So firstly, I need what are the positions that are vacant in the organization. This data is maintained in Employee Central. As a recruiter, I go and see the vacant positions. Not all vacant positions can be converted into requisitions. Only some positions which are readily available to be hired are to be converted to requisitions. So when I create a requisition, system pulls up all data from position and updates the requisition. What is this requisition for? What is the salary of this position? Okay, or what are the roles and responsibilities of this position? So all of this information is sent from Employee Central to recruiting. Now in recruiting, I have a requisition. I post this job. A lot of candidates applies for this job, and then some of them I negotiate, and for some I offer. Once you offer the candidate at the time of joining will have to hire this candidate in the system, and that hiring is done in Employee Central, starting from hiring till firing at the end of the life cycle of an employee. The termination part is done in Employee Central. So all of those actions, what we do in between hiring and the termination, like any kind of data change, any kind of transfers, any kind of promotions, any kind of salary changes. So all of these are processed in Employee Central. So that's why we call it as a base or the core module of SuccessFactors. We store all of the data or manage or process the data of the employees. Okay, so we have different applications like performance, which is used for appraisals, compensation to recommend salary increases, succession and development for planning the staff changes, then recruiting to source the candidates, learning for trainings, okay, JAM for social collaboration, workforce planning for workforce information. So we use all of these modules in SuccessFactors. Okay, so we talked about Employee Central as well. But this course contained total of 25 sessions, 24 to 25 sessions. The first 4 sessions would be completely of theoretical part, like we'll be discussing about some of the important URLs that you should know before you get into SuccessFactors. We'll look at certification, how to do the certification, why certification is important for SuccessFactors consultants. Should be looking at roles and responsibilities of a SuccessFactors consultant, the types of systems that we use in SuccessFactors, what is the landscape, so what are the implementation principles or guidelines, what is configuration workbook, what is implementation guide, what is kickoff template, of whom should we approach if you have some issue in the SuccessFactors application. So all of these things, the release management will be looking after all of these things in the first 4 sessions. This is all theoretical part, and from 5th session onwards we'll be getting into the practical part. Everybody will be given access to application, SuccessFactors application, which can be accessed from anywhere. If you have internet, you can just access. You don't have to install anything here. You just access the SuccessFactors application through URL. So access would be given. Complete material is given to you. You don't have to worry about any material. We'll be providing all of the material that we discuss in the sessions. And then every day recorded session is also provided for your reference. I won't recommend you to go through the recording and practice. I usually ask people to recall or remember what is taught in the system and try to work on the system. Make your hands dirty. Okay, so I would recommend you to spend time for another minimum of 1 hour apart from the regular training hours. So every day we'll be having 1 hour of session starting from Monday till Friday. Usually we don't take sessions on Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, it's only on Monday to Friday, 1 hour every day. Other than this 1 hour, I would recommend you to spend minimum of 1 hour. The more you spend, the more you get. Okay. Try to remember things and try to recall, try to see what has been taught in the session, and then go and practice. Okay. We'll assist you in resume preparations. Okay. For your how to crack the interviews, what comes in interviews. So all of those, how to get certified, will help you out in clearing your certification as well. Okay. So any doubts here?
So Venu, how about the server access? So you'll be providing for only 1 month?
Yes. Yes. This is initially for 1 month, but if you want this
Okay.
to be extended, we can do that.
Okay. Okay.
This course is only for this employee central or other modules also? How many
No, this
modules
is
is covered
only
in this
for
course?
this 25 sessions. What I'm talking, these are only on Employee Central, not any other
Okay.
module. So after
Okay.
learning Employee Central, it is not mandatory that you should have knowledge in other modules also. Even though you have knowledge in other modules, you'll be working on only on one module. If you are placed in any of the project, you'll not be working in all the modules. You'll be working in only one module. It is good to have, if you have knowledge in multiple modules, it is an advantage for you. But
But as an
again,
end
this is
user,
not mandatory.
but as an actually we are working as an end user, so it is better to have the multiple model knowledge, or there is not necessary.
It is not necessary. Again, once you are placed in the project, you will be working on only one module, not on all modules. If you are familiar with performance management, if you are given the tasks of performance management, you'll only be handling performance management, not Employee Central.
No, I'm not telling about the
Again,
consult as a consultant, as an end user. Because any manufacturing
as
company
an
is implemented.
end user will be accessing the system. See, when will you access your appraisals? Only when you have to review the performance at the end of the year or middle of the year. You'll go and update your goals or update your performance reviews. Right? It takes only 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, or maybe one day. The entire out of 365 days, you use your performance appraisal for one day.
Hmm.
Okay, as an end user.
Yes.
If you're a recruiter, maybe because that's your job, that's your responsibility, you'll have to do that. Whenever you have the open positions, you'll have to create requisition and you have to process that requisition. So as and when you have that open positions, you will be working on recruiting. Again, as an end user, you will
Yes.
not do recruiting, you will not do performance appraisal, you will not now maintain the data. So you have different role. Depending on your role, you'll be working only on that particular module. Now, if you are a HR and your responsibility is to hire and maintain the master data of the employees, you go see the if candidates are available for hire, pull that employee or pull that candidate and source that candidate into the system. So if you have to transfer, you'll be doing. Now that's the HR operations. And then if you are a recruiter, end user recruiter, you will only be processing the requisitions. You will not go and do the performance appraisal, or you will not go and do the compensation. Forget about consultant. I'm talking about end user. End user will not access all of this data. Again, depending on your role, you will be granted the access of that particular module. Not every end user will have access to recruiting. Not every end user will have access to compensation.
And the certification is for separate for each module, na?
Certification is different for different modules.
Yes.
We'll be talking more about certification, who can do, how to do the certification, what all modules we have, what is the code for certification. I'll tell you all of those details.
I have few doubts. Like, since
Yeah, go
most
ahead.
of the companies prefer only experienced success factors consultants, suppose once this training is done and if we practiced enough, like how many years of experience can be put in our resume?
So minimum, I would recommend you to go with 3 years of experience. Okay.
Okay.
So even if you have 2 years or 3 years or 5 years of experience, the questions would be the same. Like you'll be
Okay.
asked, like, what you have done in the system, for what all customers you have implemented, what are the processes that you have implemented. Similar questions will come in for a 3 years or a 5 years. But to have a call, to have success factors calls, I would recommend you to have minimum of 3 years of experience in your profile.
Okay. So after this training, we can just have it as a 3 years experienced guy in an SAP
Yes.
success factor, right? Okay.
Yes.
One more question, like since there, if success factors can be done as an implementation side and support side, so with
Mm.
this training, can we be trained in both of those or only focused
Yes.
only
In
on
both,
support?
both on implementation and support. So whatever that we do
Mhm.
in the system or in class, okay, we'll be configuring the system.
Okay.
So we'll see a particular scenario, how the scenario is to be handled or configured in the system. What is it
Okay.
now? Success factors recommends a implementation sequence. So we'll be going through all of those steps in the implementation sequence. What success factors recommends.
Okay. And of
So
course, since it might be
you
too
can
early.
be into implementation or in support. You can get into implementation or support with the knowledge what we have. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So,
And what about the maybe index kind of like what topics would be covered, role-based permissions, reporting? So will
yes,
it be
we have the
presented in the?
complete course content. We'll be sharing you the course content. So day
Mhm.
by day content, like what we will be covering in each day, that I'll share with you all.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thank you, Ben.
So Venu, I'm in United States right now. So how was the job market over here, and what kind of experience profile should I create after the training section?
Yeah, again, the market is good for the success factors across the globe, not only for US. Okay, we have openings in UK, we have openings in Australia, New Zealand. So the market is good now. Okay,
Mhm.
so minimum you should have again 3 to 5 years if you want to get into success factors. So you need to be strong with your basics. Okay, this is common for everybody, not only in US or not only in India. Should be strong with your basics. So whatever that we teach in this in the regular sessions, okay, you should be strong. We will have to refer those content. Okay, like
Okay.
all the areas of Employee Central, the RBP or workflows. So people will be asking you what all areas that you work in Employee Central. So you should be giving all of the information, like you have worked on data models, you have worked on workflows, you have worked on business roles, you have worked on reporting part. So all of these are part of Employee Central. Okay, so
Okay.
minimum 3 to 5 years of experience with strong basic knowledge.
Okay.
We have experience in the HR, okay, core HR. So, what is the compensation benefit or salary rise? Is it same package or any improvement in the compensation?
It is not the same package for every consultant. It all depends upon the years of experience that you have. Okay,
Okay.
so a consultant who applies for a job with 3 years of experience, okay, may be having
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 years of experience into functional, okay, with average
Mm-hmm.
of 3 to 5 years of experience will land up somewhere around 10 lakhs. That's a minimum salary what I have seen in SuccessFactors. From 10 lakhs, you can go to 12, 15, 20, 25, and so on.
Okay, means any person having the functional HR knowledge, core HR knowledge, having 5 to 10 year experience, if they want to move
Mm,
their career in SuccessFactors as a consultant, so at
mm.
least 10 lakhs they means get
Now, it depends upon your salary. No, what is your salary at the time of
current
applying the job?
salary.
Current salary.
But company prefer to take the this functional knowledge person.
Yes.
Okay.
So Venu,
Hello.
success factor,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
success factor, yeah, the certification it will success factor will upgrade once in every 6 months, right? So
Yes.
initially we'll doing the certification. So every 6 months we need to do the
You
certification
need to
again, or how
upgrade
about
your
the,
you need to upgrade your certification. You don't do the certification again. We have something
okay,
called stay currents or deltas. Okay, only the
okay,
areas of that new release features, whatever new release features have come as a consultant, you should upgrade yourself. Okay, maybe some things which are not available earlier in the product are now available after this release. Okay, so you
okay.
should know that what is updated, what is upgraded. Maybe some configurations are changed. So you should go through, every consultant has to go through those release features so that you can guide your customer to use the application.
Mm-hmm. So how
Okay.
about the certification validation?
Certification validation. See, it has changed recently. That earlier it
Mm.
was like for 6 months, but now it is for 1 year. The validity of the certification is 1 year now.
So like
Once you
what will
keep your
happen after?
once
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you have cleared your deltas or the stay currents, your certification will also get updated for next 1 year again.
Oh, got it. So every six
As
months
and
we
when
need to clear the deltas.
yes, once you clear your delta, that delta will give you the validity of 1 year. Delta contains only some questions of that release.
Okay.
We'll talk more about the certification and these deltas in detail. I'll show you how to do the certification, from where we have to do the certification, how to do the deltas. That we'll discuss in the regular
Okay.
sessions.
So whether you will be providing any dumps for clearing a certification?
Again, yes, if you require, you can speak to your representative, whomever you're coordinating with, Sai Krishna or
Okay.
Polarity, whomever you're coordinating. Just ask them, they'll be assisting you in clearing your certification.
Okay. Okay. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep. Go ahead, Yogesh.
What is the difference between functional and consultant?
Functional, see, in the on-premise or in some technologies, we use the terms called functional consultant and a technical consultant. Technical consultant basically is someone who develops the product. But since we don't have anything like development here in SuccessFactors, all of us would be the functional consultants. The functional knowledge, what we are talking about, that is the knowledge of your HR processes. Okay.
Okay. So
Functional
payroll can be
consultant is
done in
different.
SAP.
Yes, payroll can be done in SuccessFactors as well. We have a module called ECP, Employee Central Payroll, where we integrate the Employee Central with the payroll cloud payroll system, and we process the payrolls there.
This course
Like,
will include time off as well?
no, time off is not included. To learn
I'm
time off, only time off, it takes not 20 days.
okay.
To
At least
learn Employee
basic
Central, it is 25 sessions. Yes, if
section.
you want, we can cover basics of time
Yeah.
off.
Okay, thank you.
But in depth of any module, like time off, you have a separate certification. Employee Central, you have a separate certification. Performance, you have a separate certification. Performance module, to learn performance module, you may need only 10 sessions. To learn compensation, you may need 12 to 15 sessions. You may need
Yes,
20 sessions for recruiting, 15 sessions for onboarding. So depending on the module.
everything
Sir,
is
in
in
SAP HR, it is only one certification na, in SAP HR.
In SAP HR, I'm not sure. It's been like almost 10 years that I've worked on SAP. If they have changed anything, we had only one certification in SAP HR, but I don't know if
Oh,
they have multiple certifications. I think it is
okay.
only one, to my knowledge.
So now companies means many companies are using the SAP SCM HANA model. Okay, so if you see the success factors, it may be costly. So which company prefer to install means
What is costly, HANA or success factors?
success factor may be costly
Why?
because the data server is used centrally na by the companies.
Then what do we do in HANA?
We have our own server na in the system. Means, company has having own systems servers.
No. Company is not having their own servers in HANA. There also it is the cloud computing. Now SAP, the success factors is a product of SAP, okay, and specific to one area.
Okay.
It is the HR area. Whereas the HANA, this is for the entire organization. All of your modules that you implement can be into HANA. Okay.
Right.
So
So
obviously the
Venu,
cost that
one
we
more.
spend on HANA is much more than what we spend on success factors. Yeah, go ahead.
So Venu, one more doubts and as well as suggestion from your end. Like so if a candidate is having like some good experience in recruitment, so whether they can choose a good to go employee central course or recruitment module.
It depends. Like just because I'm teaching Employee Central, I won't say that you will have to learn Employee Central. No,
Hmm. Hmm.
because Employee Central is the core or the base module. If you have
Okay.
knowledge on Employee Central, on top
Hmm.
of it, if you have recruiting knowledge or any other knowledge, that would be helpful for you. Now, you want to get
Okay.
into only recruiting, you don't want to learn Employee Central, that is also fine. You can still learn recruiting and be only in recruiting side.
Okay, got it.
So what
So there
happens
won't be
is
much
out
difference,
of
right?
yeah, out of 100 customers, all the 100 customers will have Employee Central.
Okay.
Only few customers will have RCM or recruiting. Whomever, whichever customer want to have recruiting in
Hmm.
success factors, okay, they can implement correctly. So maybe out of 100 customers, you will see 50 customers having the recruiting.
Okay.
And some customers maybe using a different recruiting module, not in success factors, outside the success factor system. Or some customers may feel that we don't need recruiting module. We hardly hire 1 or 2 employees every year, so they don't need any recruiting application. Same applies for all other modules,
Okay.
performance management or compensation or learning.
So entering a fresher in a success factor is difficult, right?
As a fresher, yes, it is difficult, and I don't recommend you to try as a fresher because you're spending now some time, you're spending money, you're practicing on the system. Try to go as
Hmm.
experienced consultant, not as a fresher.
Okay.
You'll see freshers, joining the organization, maybe with the same knowledge as you, but the salary will be different for them. Maybe you'll see 3 lakh salary for a fresher and 10 lakh salary for the experience. Let's say some of you, if you're learning success factors here, okay, you have applied as a fresher and your someone has applied as a experienced candidate. So they will end up with 10 lakhs of salary or 12 lakhs of salary, and you will end up at for 3 lakhs of salary. Both of you will be doing the same job.
For getting the job, the certification is compulsory, or if after completion this course, anyone can join as a consultant?
No, you need to have certification. The first thing that your interview asks is whether you have the active certification or not. You should have certification. I'll tell you why certification is needed, how to do that. We'll discuss in the regular sessions.
How many months is required to complete the certificate? We do properly after completion of this course. So it's 1
It
month, 2
depends
months.
if you're spending 2 hours or 3 hours a day along with this course. Yeah, maybe you will be immediately, you can apply for jobs. Or you want to take some time, do it slowly. 1 month of training and 2 months of your practice, that should be sufficient. So how
So
much you are
Venu, will you?
focusing on the content, that's important. Yeah, Hepsi, right.
Yeah. So will you provide any will you conduct any mock interview sessions?
Yes, it depends. Like if you are ready to, because as soon as we complete the course, so maybe you want to take some more
Mm,
time to practice and prepare for the interview. And if you want to have those mock interviews, yes, we will do that.
yeah.
So I heard after the training section, after a month,
Hmm?
I mean, if we are interested for the practices, the demo instances will be given, and most
Yes,
probably
the demo instance can be extended.
extended, and also you will give us some inputs, right? Like when we are practicing by ourselves.
Hmm. Yes.
And also, when I'm looking into job description over here while doing the market research, along with the EC, I saw one full life cycle of implementation in RCM, and one of, if you have good knowledge in performance management and performance goals will be the best. So while doing this course, if we want to know about the one full life cycle of recruitments, will it be possible to get it from
So
here?
one full life cycle meaning the complete end-to-end implementation. So here in these sessions, we are learning about one end-to-end implementation of Employee Central module.
Um,
That means starting from scratch, you build the application, you build the configuration, and you go live with the Employee Central module. Same thing for recruiting or for performance management. So one end-to-end implementation meaning, so all of the configurations that are needed to use that particular application or a particular module. When you say one end-to-end cycle for recruiting, that means you should know each and everything about the configuration of a recruiting module. So how do we set up a particular uh, pipeline of recruiting? So how do you post the requisition? So what kind of postings you have, internal, external? So all of these are part of your end-to-end implementation.
got it.
End-to-end is nothing but the complete knowledge of that module.
RCM.
We'll be doing only about the Employee Central, not about RCM. So RCM consultants will apply for RCM jobs where they need end-to-end implementation knowledge. Similarly, EC consultant should have end-to-end implementation knowledge of Employee Central module.
Got it.
So on top of Employee Central, if you want to learn, see anything that you're learning, not only just the knowledge, you should have the complete end-to-end knowledge of that module. Where if you're having performance appraisal, performance management, experience in your profile, so you should have end-to-end knowledge in that area also. I'll
Got it.
ask you questions in depth in that area. So what have you done in performance? So have you handled this situation or have you handled this configuration? So what is that particular step in that configuration? What do we do? So they'll ask you in depth of that module. You cannot say that I have knowledge in employee, I have worked on Employee Central. Yes, you can say that, yes, I have knowledge of 3 years knowledge in Employee Central, but knowledge of performance management also. Like, no,
Yes.
what do you know about performance management? You can just give an overview, like this is used for the appraisals. We have the goals, we have a template, we have this this configuration. So if you have that knowledge, yes, you can say that. Maybe when there is a requirement for a performance consultant, if they want you to switch into performance module, they can utilize your knowledge there.
Okay. Clear.
What is the career growth in this as a consultant? If anybody join, okay. So what is the career growth next after 5 to 10 years?
It all depends how you perform. You can grow from associate consultant to consultant, consultant to senior consultant to lead consultant, and then the project manager.
Right.
Okay. Anything else?
SuccessFactors into AI, it is separate module or else will it
No.
upgrade?
In the recent times, SuccessFactors is upgrading the product. Okay. So we have some features from the artificial intelligence as well. Slowly in each release, they are trying to add these into product.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have any more questions, we'll stop it here. You can speak to your representative. We'll be starting this course training immediately. You can check with your representative and enroll for the regular classes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Hope to see
Thank
you all
you.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.